Poor Hewitt. It's bad enough he's had to sit here and watch his old Corvette go down the track with Mr. Williams in it. That's hard enough. But now to go out in first round, it's going to make it even worse. Tower Lane, Dave Jackson out of Poulsbo, Washington, 490 to the dial-in on that beautiful Mullins dragster. Far lane, Grandpa Gary Erickson, 69 Mustang. Yes, Erickson driving his own car. That is unheard of. Erickson Valves, a 742. Here comes the dragster. Dragster at the line. Cannot get the win as he breaks out 91 with a 91 with a 9 on the 92 dial. Erickson gets the gift and moves on to the next round. Up next, Tower Lane, the 499, the dial in for Terry Wilcox out of Lake Tapps, Washington. He's taking on the Vancouver, Washington D&E Auto Care, Buick, Somerset, Mr. Tyler King behind the wheel. King and DeGrande just getting this car buttoned up about 2 weeks ago. Tyler, remembering what it's like to cut good lights, now just needs to put it together in eliminations. 551 the dial in for the Somerset. Wilcox 499. Tyler King can't cut the light. Terry Wilcox picks up the win. King way off on the box. 499 with a 7 with a 12 light for Wilcox through to the next round. Next up, two dangerous racers. Brandon Yoder, Tower Lane, dials on 571. 2010 PIR track champion here in Super Pro. This is what he lives to do. Far lane, the D&L Racing. Dave Saddam dials a 526. See what Saddam can do here in round number 1. Yoder taking on Saddam. Yoder running on the stop. Saddam out ahead, and Saddam is out in round number 1. Yoder 007 to Saddam's 15. Yoder 71 with a 7 on a 71 dial for an 8 thou package. Yoder takes the stripe by 30, 10 thou at the top end in the closest race of the morning. Next up, the Xfinity dragster of Mr. Nero. Nero, Tower Lane, a 505 dial-in for Paul. Far lane, Matt Clausen, a 525 dial-in. Clausen will have the head start. Nero gets to play catch-up. Nero, Tower Lane, heading down track. Clausen breaks out 16 with a 7. Clausen with a big breakout. Nero 505 the dial in. 505 is what he runs with a 6. John Chitwood, far lane, taking on Jimmy Dermott. Dermott dials a 475. Chitwood a 473, and pretty close to a heads-up drag race here in Super Pro. Combo, Super Street, Junior Comp, and Super Comp. To the lanes, please. Chitwood with the starting line issue. Jimmy gets the easy round win. Jimmy Dermott, 472 with a 5. Next up, Learcamp Tower Lane. Learcamp dials a 460. 480 dial in for Mr. Glenn. Glenn, defending track champion in Super Pro. Glenn, probably the biggest ego here at the track, I would say. That's why we love him, though. Nothing but attitude, 24/7. Glenn's away. As Tower Lane picks up the win. Yeesh. Morris coming up next, Tower Lane. 464 the dial in for Jim Morris as Mark Pratt. Far lane 681 the dial in for the 70 Skylark as we draw to a close here in Super Pro. Few cars left here. As I think we may have a special bonus coverage coming at you here in just a second. Stevie and I know you guys don't like hearing from us all day long. And without Steve here, we know you guys are hurting for sound up here. Morris Tower Lane, 464. Mike Farlane, 681. Breakout for Morris, 63 with an 8 on the 64 dial. Farlane picks up the win. Dustin, Tower Lane, 471 dial in. Tracy, Farlane, 639. The Clackamas, Oregon Nova. Gonna have the head start. Dustin will have a big gap to make up. Washington versus Oregon. As we get ready for football season in the Pac-10, Pac-12, Pac-18, whatever we have. I understand the Pac-10 may be joining with the Big West for all we know. Red light, Dustin, 29 on the red side. DePeel breaks out, not that it matters. 34 light for Tracy, 38 with a 2 on the 39 dial. As we're going to make it a little bit of a surprise. I will be turning the microphone over. First person to guess who it is, Pete will shake your hand. That or we'll send you for a ride in the JPC Racing Mopar a little later on. So we'll see who can guess. Is taking over the mic. Special guest announcer.
Yeah, the person says Alan Reinhardt gets a kick right in the wherever. All right, sports fans. We got more racing. We got Justin Bond coming up over there in the right-hand lane. Nick Breshoff from beautiful downtown Beaverton. Hey, we got Oregon in the left, Mission in the right. What conference is Mission in? Then the Big A? The Big A conference? Northern Conference, that's good. Justin Bond and the Canadian team trying to get ready for that big Summit Racing ET Finals coming up in a week. Top end of the racetrack, left lane, Mike gets it for the Pride of Beaverton. 488, wow, dialed 488, ran 48. Had an 01 light. It's like stealing money, for goodness sakes. Justin had an 020 light, left last, and watch Nick run right on the dial. Playing a little hardball here in round number 1. And here comes the Johnson family Chevrolet. Now, your next two cars coming up, wow, way cool. One of these is a 41 Willys with a wing on it. The other one's a Chevrolet Cobalt. And if you do not know which one is the 41 Willys, we have to ask you to leave because you obviously came to the wrong place. Even my wife, the lovely and talented Diana, would look and I'd say, yo, babe, one of these is a 41 Willys, the other one's a pretty new Chevrolet. And she'd go, give me a hint. It's all right, the Willys in the left lane. She'd go, give me another hint. All right, watch this. Big head start here. There we go. The Willys way out in front. There comes that Randy Johnson from Washington. Starting to close the gap on the top end of the racetrack. Got him. 485, 129 the speed. 589 for the Willys. Ran right on the money. But the reaction time started with a 1. That is not normally a good thing. And in that case, it wasn't. Whoa, Corvettes, get your Corvettes. And here comes the other part of the Morris family. Getting set to make the run. A 465 dial-in for the dragster Corvette at $499 from Alberta. It's a beautiful Chevrolet, and pointing to the crew that there's something out in front of the car. Oh, the dial-in. There we go. So you're supposed to look. How about that? Way to go, Mike. Would it be fitting if he comes up and runs like 489? Because that's the dial-in for the Alberta runner. And he's out of Olympia, Washington. What are those tickets for? You guys selling chances? They sold out yet or what? All right, out of the starting gate. Oh, man. 004 light for Mike in the Corvette. And guess what? He left last. Oh, baby. Mike Williams goes 004 on the tree, and he left last. Andy Morris went 0-0-0. Man. Andy was perfect on the line. Runs 467 on the 65 dial margin of victory. My favorite margin of victory, 007. Really. Philip Greer, 56 modeled Chevrolet. Taking on Ron Ellenson. In the Mopar. We love Mopars. Also watching 71 dimes deep. He's running them in pro stock. Really. Top end of the racetrack. Head start went out by a couple of hundreds. So Ron Ellenson, he holds on, goes wire to wire for the win. How about Phil Greer? He had an 015 light left last. Are you kidding me? Ron Ellison was 003. It's like really good, you know. I mean, it's no Mr. Morris, but hey, here comes Bill Hurd. Been doing this for a long while. 80 Ford Pinto. It's hard to believe. Looking at that car, they used to run those cars in pro stock. Really, you couldn't make that stuff up. Hard to believe that body style never caught on with the buying public, isn't it? Look at the difference in these race cars. Shane Molinari, that's a big speed car. Wait to see this head start. In an 8th mile, it's like a humongous advantage going to the Ford Pinto. 460 cubic inch 40s underway, wheels up, cars. Here comes the action. Watch Shane try to run him down by 3, 2, 1, never got him. Hurd dials 577, runs 577. That is usually a recipe for advancing into round number next. Shane goes 448 on the 446 dial. Basically never had a chance. So Bill Hurd for the Ford Pinto. Always something about going home and telling your friends you got beat by a Pinto. Really. Hey, it's going to happen a lot when Bill Hurd's driving the Pinto. So we're going to go into our stock, super stock combo. Round number 1. These cars, whoa, man, wild, wacky burnout over there for Larry Peterson. From beautiful downtown Eugene. And Greg Heilman from Vancouver. It's in Washington, you know. The Chevrolet Camaro. So you got your head start dialed in. Same basic game plan. You can take a look at the Bi-Mart scoreboards down there. 733 the dial for Greg. He gets the leave first. 649 the dial over there for Larry Peterson. He gets the leave second. If he needs help, you can just dial 1888 car help. I don't know what kind of help they're going to give you, but that's what it says on the side of his Chevelle. All right, ready, set, let's go get him, boys. There's one, there's two. Red light and good night for Larry. Nothing goes worse with a red Chevelle than a red light on the Christmas tree. Automatic win for Greg, 734 for the freebie, 91 miles an hour. Well, that's a wacky sounding little. I'm guessing that is not a big honking V8 in that little car. What do you think? Man. The Rada Bonziacal, Vachatayo, over there in the far lane for Todd Gale. And the little Ford Escort. Told my wife I picked up an Escort in downtown Portland last night. She thought it was the car. Super gas to the lanes, please. Super gas. Oh, man. 001 light for Jim Coughlin. That's going to be tough for that whatchamacallit over there in the far lane. Top end of the racetrack. How about that? Ford Escort. Wire-to-wire job. 001 on the tree. And never look back.